Hello Scorpio, welcome to my channel Love It or More. This is going to be your December 2022 reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. I'm changing things up a bit, a different spread. You get to see my face. I hope that's all right. Please be mindful that energies are non-gender specific. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'm going to be doing the sound bowl for about 20 seconds just to tune into the energy. And please do like or subscribe or comment on my channel if this does resonate with you, because it really helps. Okay, so if you'd like to take a nice breath in and exhale. Okay, Scorpio, let us see what Spirit has in store for you. Sorry, a bit of an itchy nose. I apologize if there's any background sounds or noises. We have a gardener doing some work in the garden, so apologies for that. Hopefully it doesn't affect the sound too much. We're doing 3 spreads. First, 3 piles. We're cutting the deck and we're looking at love, health and wealth for December 2022. Okay. I have pre-shuffled the cards, don't worry. Okay, love, we have the Hierophant. Health, we have the Moon. Wealth, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, we're going to be clarifying with my deck. Don't worry, I'll get into all the cards. Okay, in the love department under Hierophant, you have the Ten of Swords. Under the Moon in health, you have the Chariot, another major arcana. Under wealth and the Hanged Man, we have the Page of Swords. Under the Ten of Swords in love, we have the Four of Swords. Under the Chariot and the Moon, we have the Two of Cups. And under the Page of Swords in wealth, we have the Lover's card. Under the Four of Swords, oh, I need to sneeze. Oh, bless me, sorry. Excuse me. Under the Four of Swords in your love department, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Under the Two of Cups and the Moon, we have the Four of Wands. And under the Lover's card in wealth, we have the Eight of Wands. Okay. Right. Okay, a bit of a tricky sort of energy for your love department over here, because we've got the Hierophant, which talks about, it can obviously talk about high level of commitment, but I'm really feeling for this card over here, this is talking about spiritual ascension. There is something that's come to an end for you as it relates to the emotional body. Okay, now this doesn't always have to be romantic. It can be friend, family, work colleague, but it's something to do with your heart space, something where you feel normally filled up, but there is something that's changing in your life, and it feels there's an ending. There's no undeniable ending coming in, some healing, and after that we have a slow and steady pace to kind of just plod along. So it feels like something's quite big that's happening for you in December, with something coming to an end that's going to affect you in the heart space, and then we've got healing, and then it's just a kind of, okay, let's just take one day at a time. Okay, so let us clarify further. What is coming to an end for Scorpio, please? Now, this is definitely in the mental body, but obviously it's affecting the heart space. So with this card here, the hand is sort of, there's a kind of someone who has, I suppose, died. And there's a graveyard around him, which is represented in the sword energy. The sword is a mental body, okay? So there's no point kind of, you would have gone through the 8 and the 9 to get to the 10. The 8 of swords is that feeling trapped, kind of bound. The 9 is the anxiety, the worry, and the 10 is like, final blow, I'm done, okay? So let's see what's coming. Oh, wow. Bottom of the deck is a Hierophant again. Okay. What is coming to an end for Scorpio, please, for December 2022? What is coming, reaching a finale for Scorpio, please? We've got 10 crows there as well. And it's sunset, so the sun ends. The day ends with this regard. Okay. High Priestess. Okay, you've been picking up on this energy. You've been kind of sort of intuitively knowing that the ending is coming out on in. We've got Temperance. So these are 2 major arcanas. Temperance talks about divine timing and kind of you're a highly spiritual card. You're a highly spiritual sign, Scorpio. Very intuitive, very psychic. You have those psychic abilities. And we've got the High Priestess with the Temperance in. So it really feels, and underneath the Hierophants, it's kind of like a quite spiritual turnaround for you in terms of there's things that you are kind of, it's almost as if you've been sort of receiving these downloads, receiving these intuitive hits. You've been picking up on things, sort of the hidden agendas behind what people have been saying. You can always read between the lines, okay? And it feels like there's natural timing at play here, divine timing at play here. And it feels like there's a lot of healing with that Temperance coming in as well. But I want to get a bit more because they are, excuse me. We've got here, what's unseen is the Empress and the King of Pentacles. Okay, another major arcana for you. And then we have the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so the situation is that as it relates to matters of the heart, there was something where you were giving so much of your heart, so much of your unconditional love towards, you were nurturing something in particular as it relates to the heart, okay? You were birthing something, you were in that creation mode, and the creativity, the birthing of it was something that you wanted to create a certain long-term sense of security, long-term. You wanted to take, you wanted to it to last a sort of a sense of permanence, because we've got the Empress with the King of Pentacles, okay? So this has been something that you've been working on from the heart space in that creation. It's almost like you've been building something, you've been carving something out, you know, where your heart is at. And now you recognize there's something, it's either to do with children, or it's with that 6 of Cups, or it's either to do with something from the past that you've been working on for so long, and now you are breaking free from it because you are now, in a way, going solo with that 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is the most independent card of the deck, okay? She has a sense of, well, she's got a sense of security, okay, and she knows where she's heading. She's got vision, she's got foresight, and she's going forward. Now, independence doesn't always mean to say that you're breaking off with somebody, cutting away, but I do feel that there is a cutaway here as it relates to the heart. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're breaking up with a partner or having a divorce necessarily, although it could be. But I don't see a massive, like, to that degree, because we don't have the World card. What I do see here is this: there has been something that you've been putting your heart and love into, okay? And you thought it would stand the test of time, and you're coming into realization, no, I need to see what I've got, and I need to break a cord to some degree. There's no denying it anymore. So we go through a bit of healing after that through the course of December with that 4 of Swords. Now the 4 of Swords is also my protection card, because there's a centaur in the background, and he is actually represented as Chiron, the wounded healer. So you do have an opportunity to rest and recuperate and just give the heart space a bit of time just to come to terms with all it's like everything kind of comes together. You've been getting the intuitive hits, you've been seeing, it's almost like you've been seeing this coming for a while, but it hasn't been so in your face, this month it's in your face. There's no denying it. And as you do so, there's actually a spiritual journey that happens. There's a spiritual ascension that happens where you're coming to terms with, it's almost like you're learning to trust your senses on a more sort of spiritual level, because what you've been knowing for quite a while is now showing up in your life, and you're starting to trust yourself a bit more. So that's a spiritual ascension that's happening for you. Thank you. Four of Swords, we've got the Ace of Cups, we've got the Page of Swords, and we have the Strength card. Okay, so in this period of time when you are starting to kind of convalesce, I suppose, heal the heart, come to terms with the change and the ending of one paradigm into another, you've got now, it feels like you've created space now for the heart, because your heart was so all filled up in one particular area. Okay, it was something that you were really carving out. This was your baby, right? Now, obviously, it can be a child, it can be a partner, it can be any of these things, but something where you're putting all your eggs in that basket with regards to this is where I'm putting all of my attention, all of my focus, all of my unconditional love and energy into. And then it cuts to the degree where now that you've had a chance to kind of come to terms with that, you've actually created space for yourself to allow for something new to come in with that Ace of Cups. Okay, it feels like you're getting some sort of, it feels like it's coming from somebody else. There's somebody that's coming forward towards you and trying to communicate with you, and it feels quite fast. It feels quite forceful, with quite a lot of room attached to it, and kind of like a new beginning for you as it relates to the heart space. But it feels like it's requiring quite a lot of your internal strength, because you're still in a type of grieving process of coming to terms with something that's ended. Okay, so it's like you know, the world is, time is speeding up. Everything is happening much faster for us humans at the moment, and you know, I'm seeing this in some of the other cards as well, with some of the other zodiac signs. It's like, just as something ends, something new begins. And normally in the old days, last year or a couple of years ago, something would end, we would have the chance to kind of climatize to that energy, and then something new would begin. You know, things were stretched. Now it's kind of happening. So it's requiring quite a lot of like almost courage and bravery to kind of step out of your healing phase to accept this new offer that's coming in. Now, the Ace of Cups is something that's really, really exciting, okay? It's something that's really filling up your heart. So it's something that where you feel kind of, oh, wow, maybe we could do this. But you wouldn't have been able to see that new beginning had you come to terms with the ending of something else, okay? So all of those major arcana surrounding the Ten of Swords is telling me that it's kind of a destined energy. It's a fated energy. And coming to terms with that is one step, but then it's like you still are in the mourning process of that. And so when something new comes in, it's coming in because you've created the space for it. You've closed the one door, so now the new door opens. But it's like, oh God, now it just feels like, do I have the strength to be excited again? Because I put all my eggs in that basket and that didn't go according to plan. So can I do this? You know, it feels a bit like that. And then I see you kind of treading very carefully after that, with that Knight of Pentacles, just kind of going, okay, well, I know this is very exciting, but I'm not going to get myself excited too much just yet. I'll just sort of explore it tentatively. I'll just be methodical and look at the details, but it's like a very kind of, I'm just going to dip my toe in there. I'm not quite sure I want to go I'm not quite sure I want to allow my heart to be taken, swept off my feet in that regard. Let's go to the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this could also be someone coming in for you and being very, so if one relationship has ended, like in a romantic setting, if that's your story, because it's a general reading, there could be someone else coming in who's, you know, is at Ace of Cups, at new beginning, but I would see this person taking their time, you know, not kind of not pushing you, just being gentle and taking their time. But let's have a look at the Knight of Pentacles, please. Can you clarify? Thank you. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. So we've got lots of pentacle energy here. Thank you. Anything else? King of Cups, King of Swords, and Eight of Wands. And we've got the Eight of Wands now twice in your reading. Okay, so I see whatever. It's like you really are kind of moving very tentatively. So whatever this new beginning is something that fills up your heart. So obviously, I mean, it could be a new home, it could be whatever the case may be for you, but it's something that's really affecting your heart, and it could actually be a new person too. I feel like you are being very cautious here, looking at all the fine details, doing your homework, kind of making sure that how you feel about this. What I quite like about this, because that King of Cups energy is a very grounded, emotional energy, really kind of sensitive, but not, I mean, it's your energy as well, because it's water, but grounded, wise, not allowing himself to be sort of swept off into this hurricane of emotions. He's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do my homework. So for example, if it was a new person coming into your life, you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna be very careful here. So I might go on a date, but I think what I'll do is I'll just stretch it over time, meaning that I'll see how they react to certain situations, and perhaps it's a good idea to meet the friends or meet the family before I even go any deeper in this. You know, it's that sort of energy. As it relates to anything else, so that's a romantic example of it, but for others of you, it could be a situation where, say it was a project or a home or family member. It's like the things that have come to an end now, and because you're in the healing phase, you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket again. I'm going to take my time, do my research, and I'm going to allow myself to be kind of a bit grounded in my energy. And I'm going to look at the facts and the figures with that King of Swords, okay? In fact, I might even get some expert advice. I might even get someone who is wiser than me and ask for some advice, rather than just sort of move on in. And then we've got the Eight of Wands. Now the Eight of Wands is quite a fast energy, so it feels like when you slow down, things speed up. But the Eight of Wands, I'm really picking up more the situation of victory, success as a result of that. So it feels to me like this element of your heart space, the spiritual ascension and learning that you're gathering from this experience, is that actually it's better to sort of slow down, not get caught up in a frenzy, slow down. And when you slow down and look at the details and then things actually go faster, rather than kind of pushing the energy to happen faster. Okay, it's like that thing of just going with the flow. If the minute we sort of try and push or put pressure on our desires to come to fruition, usually what's happening is we're putting up resistance to it. And so the more we sort of step back and allow the universe to do its thing, the quicker it happens. Now, I watched some psychic last night, and there was a message from his guides to humanity, and it was something like, be calm, the universe is working overtime to give you what you desire. And that's what I'm feeling with this energy, whereby when you slow it down, you look at the facts and the figures, you gain the expert advice or whatever advice, mentorship, and then things happen faster for you. Right, now we move into the health department. Now health is obviously irrespective of your emotional health, your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. So it can be in any one of these departments, but we do have this Wands and Cups energy here, and it's all under the moon. So I feel like it's a bleed off of this heart space of you here. There are things that are not that clear cut with as a result of your heart, because I feel like health for you in December is going to be kind of a little bit emotional, a little bit of an emotional drive. I wouldn't say roller coaster, but it feels like you can't quite put your finger on how you're feeling in the emotional body, because I feel like you're in this transition in the heart space as well. But the moon card is here, which talks about things being highly emotive, when things reach a full manifestation or full release, whatever the case may be, because it's at full moon. So it's the biggest it's going to be, right? But it does sometimes cast illusions where something was a little bit hazy and you didn't see clearly. I see you taking the drive and the momentum to charge forward regardless, okay? Kind of going, you know what? I don't have all the facts and figures. I don't really understand how I'm feeling at the moment because I'm a kind of like this in-between state. But you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna go with it. And what I really like about that is it's there's an element of bravery with that. It's not kind of like hiding behind the curtains and kind of going, oh God, I don't know if I should do this. So we got the Chariot there, which is that driving forward. It's victory, okay? It's emotional changes, and I see it's going to work really well for you. So where you may be feeling in the beginning of the month, particularly with this ending that's coming in, kind of like your emotions are fluctuating quite a bit. In the beginning of the month, you feel like, oh God, I don't know if I can really trust my emotions because they're a little bit extreme. I feel like you're deciding, you're taking charge of it, and you're saying, okay, well, I'm just going to go with this. It's all about flow here for you in December. And then we've got the Two of Cups, which is that lovely open heart to heart, either you with your higher self, with your internal body, with your emotional body, or somebody else. But I feel like it's health for you is emotional this month. Okay, it's all about the emotional body. And then we've got the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands talks about kind of then the where it's all been a little bit kind of hazy and unsure, and then you're just charging forward, and then you reach a place of like groundedness. Particularly with that Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands happening in the same sort of area over here, it kind of feels like it happens at the same time. Okay, so where the emotions and the charge forward with that ending is sort of happening at the same time. That the kind of settling of the dust happens near the end of the month. So let's go to the Chariot, please. Can we clarify the Chariot? Why is the Chariot here, please, for Scorpio? That's way too many cards, guys. Can we have it? Just one or two, please, for Scorpio. Why is the Chariot card here, please, for Scorpio? Excuse me. Justice, finding your own internal balance. Okay, so the balance we're talking about is I really am feeling kind of what I was feeling like before with the Temperance and the High Priestess. It's in the emotional body. You're kind of going, okay, well, I know that I have the ability to kind of get caught up away in an emotion. I know I have the ability to be almost consumed by emotion, either get really excited or be really kind of, oh my God. And I'm not saying that you're unhealthy in this regard. I'm just saying, you know, there's we all go through those ups and downs emotionally. I mean, that's just, we're human, right? But I feel like now that you're sort of stepping into this energy in the beginning of the month of like, okay, well, I don't really know how I'm feeling about this. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm not happy. And I'm sad, but I'm kind of excited. And it's just this like, but then when you kind of go, well, I'm in acceptance of this. I'm just going to go with it. And you charge forward anyway, kind of go, okay, well, let's just roll with it. I find that's the thing that brings balance, justice. Okay, so justice, the scales are now balanced. Okay, so now you feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more self-assured, because even though you may still be experiencing a little bit of this, the lows are matching the highs. So actually, if you were to squeeze that, you know, the pulse, you know, those heart machines, if you were to pull that line that goes up and down, it would be balanced. It wouldn't be doing this or doing that. So I feel like both are good, both are bad. You kind of, even though they may be up and down, actually overall the average of it would be balance. So I'm feeling quite good about that. I'm feeling really good about that. Let's go to the Two of Cups, please. What's happening here? Why is the Two of Cups here for Scorpio, please? again, it's a 2, so they're balanced. Speaking, okay, so we've got the 8 of Cups, we have the 5 of Pentacles, and we have the Moon. Okay, so I see a conversation taking place. Now, for some of you, this could be you connecting with your higher self, but actually I'm feeling more so this is with somebody else, because in your health department, in your area of health for December, you've got this 2 of Cups here. So I see this as 2 people coming together. So I do feel, because it's emotions, there's actually another person that you're having a bit of a heart-to-heart with. And there's this kind of understanding, there's this speaking from the same page. It's like talking really openly, putting all your cards out on the table, pardon the pun, and you are kind of expressing yourself, saying, you know what, it's like you really are opening up. And I feel like this is kind of, I don't think you're prone to do this. So it is a kind of uncomfortable energy, but the beautiful thing is that as soon as you open up to somebody else, you're starting to understand that you're actually singing from the same page, that you both know what's going on. You both are aware of it. Now, there's this element of walking away from something that no longer serves you. And because you felt like you've been left out, felt like left out the cold, you felt neglected. And that has been causing this moon energy, this sense of like, I don't know where I stand, right? So it feels to me like, by having this open communication, I do feel like you're getting it. By having that open communication, you are starting to recognize that perhaps the other person was mirroring you or reflecting maybe that person was feeling that too. So again, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner, it could be somebody else, but it's someone that's close to your heart, where you actually just need to come out and just say how you've been feeling, just be honest. And what I love about that is that it almost, that kind of open communication, basically saying, I'm ready to leave something behind, because I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want to feel left out. I don't want to feel like I've got that, maybe someone is kind of focusing on my weaknesses rather than my strengths, because the 5 of Pentacles is that kind of like just focusing on your weaknesses rather than your strengths, and that's caused this hazy energy. So I do feel like you're gonna have this wonderful it's a good conversation, and it's one very I would say very important conversation, probably the most important conversation of December for you. And what I really love about it is that it leads to the 4 of Wands, because what that does is lays everything out on the table and says, okay, well, because I've been feeling like this, and perhaps the other person has been feeling it too, now ready to create a stronger platform for myself moving forward. So let me clarify the 4 of Wands, please. Thank you. 4 of Wands, we have the 7 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. So a lot of fire energy, a lot of spiritual energy there. On that 4 of Wands, I feel like mostly in your health department over December is mostly going to be in the emotional body. But once you have that openness and the communication, you are then moving into kind of, you're finding you've got a bit more oomph behind you, find you've got a bit more kind of motivation to actually make things happen. And I see you powering up as a result of that. Once you know, it's like once you know where you stand, you're like, okay, now I know what it is I need to do. And with that, I still feel like you're charging forward, but again, there's a sort of a sense of exhaustion attached to it. So you are working now towards what means balance to you, what means kind of, what are the things I need to do to make myself feel more self-assured, more in charge, more in power, and more the leader of my own life. And it may come with having to kind of be very clear with yourself and with anyone around you that this is what I need to do. So say, for example, it would be like you have this open communication, you know where you stand, the other person knows where they stand, and then you're like, okay, well, I need to take charge now of how I'm handling my sense of internal balance. And so I'm going to like every morning I'm just going to go for a run just to expel that energy. Even if I feel a bit kind of, and I feel like something like that would be a really good idea. Perhaps, so it feels like some sort of physical activity that you'll be doing come the end of December, because it's something that helps you to sort of channel and purge this kind of pent up energy that's been building up over a long period of time. And I feel like because you've been at the point of exhaustion and tired, it's like that's you actually have more reserves in you to get rid of it once and for all. So it's like there's like a fire in you that just needs to come out. That's what I'm sensing for you. Now, when we move into the wealth department, we're talking about wealth in the sense of obviously finance, money, property, all of that sort of stuff. But it also talks about your work. Okay, so the firing up over here with regards to like, I'm just going to charge forward. It does bleed into work because obviously your health impacts how you approach work, how you handle yourself or perform in the workplace, or even within a project, you know, because if you're retired, it could be the things that you do day to day, but it's where you feel that element of wealth, your sense of prosperity. And we've got the Hanged Man here. So you are really trying to kind of, I feel like you're taking the time to look at something from a whole new angle, but you've got a choice that needs to be made. Something's coming forward for you. You've got some, I would say, some good, exciting news coming forward with that Page of Swords. So some communication, some maybe something in, maybe you work with technology or something like that, but it's very prosperous. And now you've got a decision that needs to be made with the Lover's card. And then Eight of Wands is fast action forward. So literally by the end of the month, you're all guns blazing. But the beginning of the month, it's like real kind of wishy-washy energy. Like, I don't know where I stand. I feel that I kind of sense that something's coming to an end, but I don't know how I feel about it. And I'm getting this news of something else. Maybe this is an opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Throughout the course of the month, you kind of, you're shifting through that energy. You are sort of sifting through and filtering out the gunk, right? So you're leaving the gunk behind and you're streamlining your energies into what is the most important thing for you. And by the end of the month, you're charging forward, right? Ready to take on that new year, all right? Right, let's look at the Page of Swords, please. What message is coming through for Scorpio? Thank you. We've got the Ten of Swords again, okay, which is the same card above over there. Eight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. All right, so it's pretty much, it feels like your heart space and your sense of wealth is definitely connected, okay? This element of something that was over and done with, it's like, you know, I was talking before about you go from the 8 to the 9 to the 10. Well, this is an 8 energy as well. So that the thing that you've been feeling trapped about. So there seems to be some sort of offer coming in, because we've got the Page of Pentacles now with the Page of Swords. So there's news coming in, there's communication coming in with an offer of saying, well, Scorpio, I've got this new, I've got this idea, and it actually, it could help you financially, and it's something that you could maybe do at work, maybe a sideline project, but it's something that I would say would be, it's quite reliable. I don't say it's massive because it's a page, but it's something just like a sideline hustle almost that is coming on in. Now, it wouldn't have come in unless something had come to an end, okay? So something in where you have felt that there's something quite major coming to an end. Now, it could be work, it could be something in love, but basically both, either or, it affects your sense of wealth, okay? Because our sense of wealth or our sense of prosperity is all about kind of abundance as well. And we it's very difficult for us to feel kind of like, it's not very balanced if we don't feel abundance in love and then abundant and then kind of poor in the wealth department, you know? That's why the Justice card is coming up. That's why you're really kind of going through all the emotions this month to find that balance where actually your sense of wealth actually encompasses all avenues of your life, your wealth, your love, your health, okay? But I've got some good news coming in for you, and you're kind of weighing up. You're kind of going, oh, okay, this is interesting. I'll explore this, but I'm not so sure, you know, because everything is changing now for you. So let's look at the Lover's card. Why is the Lover's card here, please? What's this choice that Scorpio needs to make? Basically, if you take the Page of Pentacles or not, I'm thinking. Thank you. Depends on whether you're ready to, you know, really say goodbye. Okay, yeah. Seven of Cups and Six of Wands. This is really positive energy for you. Okay, so now because something has come to an end, you've created that clean slate for yourself, okay? You're ready you're ready to open the new door, and the offers are coming in, man. But I feel like you're like, wow, well, I have now options. Whereas before I was sort of stuck in one avenue, and now I have options. So this is kind of an exciting energy to be in, and the options are coming in because you have the offers coming in, because people are recognizing your work ethic, your determination, your commitment to goals. Okay, and even if you feel personally kind of disheartened by something that didn't go according to plan, right, with an ending, people still see that you are worth your weight in gold. Your efforts, your energy, your charisma, moving forward, making things happen, people are seeing that. So they want a piece of Scorpio too. So I feel like you have, like in the wealth department, in terms of your enterprise, the things that you're working on, and where you could be receiving money from, I feel like you are really taking some time to kind of go, I didn't know that I had all these options. So there's a bit of this, there's a bit of that, there's a bit of this. I'm going to look at it from this perspective, look at it from this perspective. And it's a really kind of nice playful energy where you can kind of just sample different ideas. But I do see there is a success coming on in for you with that Six of Wands and with that Eight of Wands, okay? So there's definitely a heightening up. So you're being recognized for your efforts, and there's a shift there, okay? So work-wise and wealth-wise, there is a shift, a positive shift, okay? And it feels more of an independent nature. It feels more that you are more in charge of where this comes from. It's like you have the choice. And what a nice place to be in. Let's look at the Eight of Wands, please. So what is this fast victory, backwards and forwards? Now we had this in here in your love department as well, where things were happening quite fast. But that was more in terms of success and victory. This is more like, now things are happening. Now I've got to get cracking, and it's exciting energy. Let's look at the Eight of Wands, please. It's like your efforts are paying off now with regards to the momentum of actually implementing something and getting a return on it. Wish fulfillment. You actually wish for this. This is what you're dreaming of, and it's happening for you. Anything else, please? Because it feels this energy, right? It feels to me like you're high in demand. You are high in demand for your skill set, okay? And it feels to me like actually any one of these arrows that you shoot off, it's like I feel like you're kind of going, well, I've got options here, so you know what? I'm gonna try it all. I'm just gonna say, for example, you're looking for a new position or whatever. You send your CV to like multiple across platforms, across industries, loads of different things, and I feel like you're starting to get people biting at you're sort of dangling, you're sending off ideas, and people are coming back to you fast. So it's kind of a very empowering feeling where you feel like, oh my God, I'm actually high in demand here. People want a little bit of Scorpio, and that lifts your spirits as well. And it encourages you to see the more and the possibility and the potential in areas that you hadn't considered before because you were caught up in this other rut, okay? So we'll end off with an oracle card, just some advice from Spirit about the situation before we move on to the extended. Okay, so what does Scorpio need to know, please, for December, for their highest good? It's two cards, we'll take it. We have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth is happening, and soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone, okay? So, when you're feeling a bit kind of wearisome, exhausted, emotional, call in your people, okay? And if you feel like there isn't actually someone that you can talk to, you can, like in your immediate surroundings, your close connections, if it's too private, you can obviously seek counseling, you can seek kind of professional advice. But also you can call in your spiritual team to help you navigate through this energy, okay? Ultimately, what Spirit is saying is that you are in the alchemist phase of creating this new new life for yourself as you begin the new year. So it is very exciting. Sometimes we just have to say goodbye. We have to mourn the passing of things that basically, seasons that come to the natural end. And when you go through that, now you sort of open up and you start blossoming into new idea where there's more opportunity, there's more options for you. So Scorpio, very exciting month for you. Tricky at first, but it's got a good outcome for sure. I will be moving on to the extended now. So what we'll be looking at in the extended is I'm going to find out more about what this ending was for you. I can get a little bit more detail and get some advice from Spirit. And then I'll see what Spirit advises you in terms of the health department, anything that you need to know. And then with wealth, I'm going to look a little bit further into this Eight of Wands, this kind of new options that are coming in for you for moving in from December into January. So if this did resonate with you, please do like, subscribe, comment, and share. And for the extended, you can click on the link below in the description box to watch the extended reading. Otherwise, for the rest of you, have a wonderful Christmas, end of New Year, and I will see you in 2023. Ha. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.